Many of us turn to spirituality during difficult times, seeking answers to seemingly unattainable goals. According to Goddard, the power lies within us, and we are all part of the same consciousness. However, our minds often limit our ability to manifest our desires. Join us today as we explore the role of the mind in conscious manifestation and how we can break free from its limitations. Conscious manifesting has become a popular topic among those seeking spiritual growth, especially those who have faced difficult circumstances. Neville Goddard's teachings have gained particular attention in this area. Whether it is a job that seems unattainable, a lover who seems unattainable, or a life that seems out of reach, the resulting desperation often leads us to seek answers in spirituality. According to Goddard, the power is within us. We are divine beings and the power lies within us. Although we refer to ourselves and the divine as separate entities, we are all part of the same consciousness that encompasses everything. Some call this consciousness God, the universe, or the source. Regardless of the label, this consciousness is what animates the reality we perceive through our human senses. As conscious beings, we are the animators of our reality. We are consciousness experiencing itself, and there is no separation because there is only us. By this we mean the divine entity that exists within us, not the physical body, personality, hobbies, or fears that we may identify with. It is perfectly understandable that even after acknowledging or grasping the concept of our inner power, we tend to adhere to the long-established beliefs we have held onto for so long. The illusions of separation, time, and scarcity still exert a significant influence on how we perceive the world around us, and we often interpret our inner power through the lens of these illusions. We go from not being aware of our power at all to viewing our power as a conditional achievement that we must work hard to fulfill. We doubt, we deny, we react, and we go from blissfully believing to completely losing faith. However, throughout all this, we are still conscious. I say this in the most loving way possible because it can seem difficult to throw away all these illusions so easily. After all, we've held on to these beliefs for decades. Therefore, I want to invite everyone to re-examine the human mind in light of the law of assumption and Neville Goddard's teachings. Many may argue that it is through our minds that we observe our divinity. This is a misconception. Neville says that the mind is the realm of perception. However, it is not divine. It is the home of our senses and how we process them. The power within us is far beyond this. It is not the mind, and it is not the senses. Let's begin by exploring what the mind truly is. The mind is a place where logic and linearity reside. It is where our traumas and beliefs are housed, which we have adopted from our observations throughout our lives. We believe that lack always precedes fulfillment because it makes sense to us based on what we have experienced. We think that we can only comprehend something if we witness it happening step by step. This mindset is understandable since we rely on our senses to perceive the world around us. However, we struggle to identify the source of our perceptions, and this is where the mind comes into play. As we embark on our manifestation journey, we often feel desperate and try to control every thought that enters our minds. We write countless pages of mindless words, hoping that our desires will manifest. We argue, stare at rejection letters, plead, cry, scream, and fight. We even talk into cups of water and drink them, hoping to shift our state of being. We exhaust ourselves by doing and doing until we achieve minimal results. Once again, we are filtering the divine through the lenses of logic, linearity, and lack. When we discover the concept of conscious manifestation, we immediately turn to our minds to comprehend it. However, our minds have limitations in terms of logic and reason, which we have grown up using to filter our experiences. We attempt to grasp a limitless concept within a limited framework, which makes it difficult, strenuous, and confusing. By relying heavily on our logical minds, we inadvertently try to make the infinite finite. We assume that what we desire, or who we want to be, is an achievement that requires hard work. Even after realizing that everything is limitless, we allow ourselves to be dictated by the limit. We try to understand something by using its opposite as a reference point. However, this is not the case. We don't need to make any effort to achieve what we desire. If you are making any efforts or you are in a state of needing what you want, it means you have not clearly understood the concept of conscious manifestation. According to Neville Goddard, the universe is one unit, including us and everything that we can imagine, so everything is a part of us as we are a part of the universe. I've repeated myself multiple times to emphasize how important it is to recognize that what we think or feel is not, in any way, shape, or form, a block to getting what we want. This isn't an encouragement to condemn the mind or to never think thoughts again. This is intended to serve as a reassurance that all those doubts, fears, and questions that your mind conjures up have nothing to do with whether you'll get what you desire. It has nothing to do with the time lag of your desires. Your negative thoughts will not drive anything away. I want to emphasize what the mind is in conscious manifestation. The mind is important in the roles of manifesting and the divine. It serves as a device for us to recognize what we want, what it is we want to project onto our realities. And this is a beautiful thing. Without our minds, we could never lovingly feel our achievements or even our pain. However, this is the scope in which your mind can process the divine. We are not the mind or the seeming duality it conjures up. When we recognize that we are beyond the limitations we have imposed on ourselves, the things we see no longer faze us because we are aware they serve a higher purpose. When we see something that seems to be going the complete opposite, or when we see a lack, it is once again our mind attempting to rationalize our perceptions. The divine does not do this. The divine already encompasses what we truly want in this life, our desires and hopes. So any circumstance is completely irrelevant because our higher selves see it as nothing more than a little bump in the road. I assume that when you are driving and your car jolts a bit, you don't immediately wallow or cry in agony because you suddenly think you won't get to your destination. When there is a traffic light, you do not assume that you will not end up where you want to be. This is the exact way your higher self sees all the seeming opposite results or otherwise lack of movement. We are allowed to feel the pain of what we see. We are allowed to let our fears and doubts arise because that allows us to savor the seeming good. We cannot observe love without observing pain. We cannot observe the having of something without observing the lack of it. However, these are all observations that are occurring in the mind, and as we established before, our true power goes beyond this. As human beings, we often experience moments of wavering faith and doubt, especially when things seem to be going wrong. It is in these moments that we must be still and remind ourselves that the pain we feel is not a punishment from a higher power or the result of bad luck. Instead, it is an integral part of the journey we are on. It is crucial to recognize that the divine has already accepted all that we want, and it is merely a matter of time before we receive it. This gift is being made for us, and it is ours alone. Nothing in this world can take it away from us. Sometimes we may feel like our minds are working against us and sabotaging our desires. However, this is far from the truth. Negative thoughts are not ruining our manifestations, for they already exist within the divine. And where does the divine exist? Within us. Therefore, we can never lose what is already within us. We are all there is, and we are all there ever will be. Reminding ourselves of this fact is the key to unlocking our true potential and achieving all our desires. When we remember that our desires are always unfolding, we observe how wonderfully things start to fall into place for us. This realization helps us have faith in the journey we are on, no matter how challenging it may seem. The universe has a way of bringing us exactly what we need at the right time, and we must trust that it is always working in our favor. Even when we are faced with seemingly solid circumstances that seem to be blocking our way, we must remain steadfast in our faith and trust that everything will work out for the best. It is important to be patient and trust the timing of the universe. Our desires may not come to us as quickly as we would like them to, but they will come when the time is right. As we continue on our journey toward our desires, it is essential to understand that we may face obstacles and challenges. These challenges are not meant to deter us from our path, but rather to test our faith and determination. In these moments, it is crucial to remind ourselves of the power that lies within us. We have the power to overcome any obstacle that comes our way, and we must trust in our abilities and inner strength. When we face challenges, it is easy to lose sight of our goals and become consumed by fear and doubt. However, we must remind ourselves that fear and doubt are merely illusions that we create in our minds. It is important to focus on the present moment and remain optimistic about the future. Our thoughts have a powerful impact on our reality, and by focusing on positivity and abundance, we attract more of the same into our lives. We must also learn to let go of any attachment to our desires. While it is important to have clear intentions and goals, we must also understand that attachment to specific outcomes can hinder our manifestation process. When we let go of our attachments, we allow the universe to work its magic and bring us what we truly need. This does not mean that we should give up on our desires, but rather trust that the universe will bring them to us in the best possible way. As we continue on our journey, we must also remember to express gratitude for all that we have. Gratitude is a powerful tool that helps us shift our focus from what we lack to what we already have. By expressing gratitude for our blessings, we attract more abundance into our lives and open ourselves up to new opportunities and experiences. Our moments of wavering faith and doubt are an integral part of our journey. We must be still and remind ourselves that our pain is not a punishment, but rather a gift from the divine. Our desires are already unfolding, and nothing can ever take them away from us. Trusting in the universe and being patient are the keys to unlocking our true potential and achieving all our desires. I hope I was able to deliver a good analysis of this idea by Neville Goddard. And of course, this doesn't mean we agree with every single thing he said or believed in, because in the end, everyone will form his or her own opinion, and that is why we are analyzing and discussing his ideas and methods to fully understand his approach and general ideas, as he was a great teacher and inspired millions of people around the world. If you want to share your opinion, comment down below this video. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to it and press the bell icon for more interesting, informative, and helpful videos on manifestation. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.